Are you wondering about your future and the person that you might spend your life with as a partner? Do you really want to know if that person is your future spouse? Then look out to these 5 signs that will indicate you that the person might be your future spouse. 1. Common interest. Most times you do not know the God's interest and the way He communicates information to you. You must learn to master the schemes and the way God deals with you as a person. You must not relate with God or think God will relate with you the same way He's been relating with others or your close friend. Our uniqueness, our difference in personality and characters is different from each other. So God acknowledges these things to relate with you. If you're different from your friend in personality and characters, then the way God will relate with you will be different. God knows what you want as a person, so you have to look out to that person if actually you're the same in likeness. When you have someone around you that likes the same thing like you do, same choices, same interest in things, same sense of choice and judgment, there is some things you have to point in that situation, and that God is trying to communicate some things to you. And that is the person that is around you also likes what you like. They do the same thing you do and has same sense of choice and judgment. That means that person is a match with you. There is the basic knowledge you must first have as a person. You needed a spouse that will love and give you the peace and happiness you wanted, and you have prayed. You have asked God to give you. After that, what you should look out is the people that God is going to be bringing into your life. There are some things that will begin to happen that will be different from the usual. God will bring someone to you. It is left for you to notice that person. You see, those things are common in you. If you notice any sign of common and same interest operating in the both of you, then it is a sign that the person may be your future partner, because you have first prayed, and it is a sign that there is compatibility already. That is God trying to tell you that the person you're seeing is your future spouse. You have to go close to know more about that person. You have to take a step to ensure that you accept and actualize your desires to have that person that God has brought to you as a spouse. 2. If the person meets your desired qualities. Everybody knows why they want in a relationship. Everybody you see on the earth's space has a desire and a taste of what they want to have. What your friend wants and the qualities may not be the same with what you wanted. There's always diverse needs and desires to our want. Your heart is set on some physical and moral qualities. Like you will actually hear some people say, I will love my spouse to be tall, fair. You will also hear another day some things different or directly opposite to the one that the person has said. Now you realize that someone is close to you, relates with you closely, and from the look of things, that person possesses all the physical and moral qualities that you in a person. There are some of these human body physiques that is always appealing to you. You're always interested on it whenever you see it. There are moral character and mindset that you want to relate with in a person. When you see such things and they're satisfying to you, you have that understanding. You have that peace relating with such character and the mindset. Then it is a sign to you that you have to appreciate what you've got, because that person is the person you've been waiting for all this while as a spouse. If you see or notice such a person around you, accept them, because they are the answers to your prayers. And when you do, God will begin to show and give you more reasons to go on with it, and you will be glad you did. Love starts from the things we see. Those things that your eye sees and are appealing to you will give you the comfort to love and not be attracted to such person. when you see stirs up the emotions in you. If you do not get attracted to some, it may be because by the appearance of that person, that is the reason most time when you're waiting on the Lord for a spouse, you do not just go with your eyes alone. You should also go with your mind and let the Spirit of God speak to you about it all. There are lots of things that could attract your eyes, and your mind will be drawn to it. But when you allow the Spirit of God to direct you, that is when you're safe in whatsoever decision that you want to make. When you see someone that is attractive to you, and the Spirit of God gives you the green light to go ahead and relate with that person, that is a sign that the person may be your future spouse. 3. If you have peace and happiness relating with such a person. Relationships are very sensitive. Relationships are very important to your life. From the day you're born to the day you may die, you cannot take away the place of people in your life. If that be the case, you will have to ensure that the people you have in your life are those that will give you that peace and the happiness that will make your life glow and be bright. Relationship is spiritual as well. Sometimes there are some people you may relate with, but your heart is not at rest at all. You do not find that peace. You're not free with such a person when they're around you. It is a signal in you that your spirit does not accept such a person. You may not see the things that have been made visible in the spirit, but there is something up and makes that very thing you do as a person, you always follow the signals that is given to you from within you. Because anytime something is about to happen in your life, there is always a way God gives you signs to show that He either approves of it or not. Happiness and peace is one first thing you must first look for in every relationship that you go into. If you're with that person and you have joy and happiness, the presence of that person always gives you that comfort and peace of mind, and you feel more love rather than feeling discomfort, unsecured, and unrest. You always feel something is not right. You're not free to relate and communicate with that person. Issue of intimacy and trust. But when you're with that person and all you have is peace, trust, you can communicate freely and open up to that person without fear or doubt or any form of insecurity. It is a sign that the person is the answered prayer that you have been praying for. That is a sign that you have seen the person that will come into your life and stay and also spend your future with you. 4. When God speaks to you. You can also get signs and confirmation from God on who your future spouse may be. When God speaks to you, when God tells you directly in a language that is relatively understandable to you, that is the reason in all the things you must try to get understanding the way God speak and communicate to you issues of your life is very important. God could tell you in a vision or in voice that the person you have around you is the person that God has given to you. When your mind is just directly attracted and drawn to someone, and everything that person does is pleasing to you, and you have joy seeing that person. A sign that is very sure for you is when God has spoken to you. You know the words of the Lord is always true, and God cannot lead you into error. Trusting God's word is one thing that will give you the edge and the advantage to understand the will and the intention of the Lord for your life, now that the person has come. You want to know if that person is truly your future spouse. Then the question is, what has God told you about it? If God is telling you that the person is your spouse, then go for the person, because that is a sign for you to work with. 5. Good communication sense. One thing that you have to know first is that every relationship has a need for good communication skill. Someone you can relate and communicate with without problems. There are people whom are good at communicating with their spouses. Check out that person. If they're good at communicating with people, and if the little time you have relate with them, they have shown interest and given you reason to be confident in communicating with them. They are open and truth in all information. That is a sign that the person may be your future spouse. Communication is key in making a great relationship. If you have a spouse that opens up everything to you, if you have some that does not hide anything from you, then it is a good prospect for you to work with.